Right.
And then you can have Saturday and Sunday.
Right, but I don't have the address on that. Right. Peace, family. Welcome to Super Heru Radio. I am your host, Aseer the Ducatir. Hello, my co-host, Selena, Empress of 10,000 years or more, you, I, everybody else. Okay, just write it down. I might have them call you, though. Thanks for coming through once again on this powerful Moon Day night. Inshallah, your week has been going well. Thank you guys for all the love and support that you sent us for last Monday's show. Even two of the haters that sent hate email about it. Thank you. Thank you for doing so. I definitely appreciate any feedback. Is great. And inshallah, I hope everybody's been okay. Peace to everybody in the chat room, always holding us down. Thank you again for maintaining the literary aspect of what it is we strive to do here at Super Heru Radio, which again is to bang on all things that's not true and bang on the things that most other people who allegedly is doing the work is scared to talk about. Because if you haven't noticed, I have, that certain people don't talk about certain things, but we at Super Heru Radio strive to talk about everything, or everything that we can that is pertaining to not only our ascension as original people, but also what some of the subtleties and some of the problems that we find ourselves going through day to day, where these things are truly originated from. So, real quick, for those people who are going to be in the New York or tri-state area on Wednesday, on Wednesday, August 1st, you can come through to Cornerstone at 271 Adelphi at approximately 6 p.m. We'll be having our book release / album release party. Brother Jason Wong from Cornerstone. Again, that's Cornerstone at 271 Adelphi Street in Brooklyn. Come through. It's going to be tight. We're going to have copies of the album, a couple of copies of the book, as well as some posters and stuff. We'll be there starting promptly at 6, and we'll be going from 6 to, I believe, 8 or 9. So please come through, get some food, support the establishment, support the homies. We really need the help, as well as support of the people to show that there are original people and people in general who do support the truth, who do support consciousness, who's not afraid to come out and show love for somebody who don't necessarily may tell you the shit that you may want to hear, but the shit that you need to hear. You know what I'm saying? So please, again, come through. If you need any more information on that, email me or, give us a call at 917-500-9409. That's 917-500-9409. Also, on August 5th, we are actually August 4th and 5th, which is Saturday. I believe that's Saturday and Sunday. We're going to be having a first come, first served lecture at 23 Nicholas Avenue off of 125th Street at the beautiful Loving Yoga Harlem Yoga Studio. Seating will definitely be limited because it's not there, but trust me, if you can come in, if you want to come Sunday, you can come Sunday. If you want to come Saturday for 2 hours and really go upstairs with us. Again, for more information on that, please email me at, please give us a call at 917-500-9409. The lectures for both days, 1 and 2, it's called Cloak and Daggers, How to Protect One from the Rise of the Black Luciferians, because there's a lot of that going on right now in the community. There's a lot of these niggas out here trying to get y'all niggas into devil worshiping and making Satanism cool. And there's a lot of people who think they dealing with a saw and a set, and you're not dealing with that at all. You're dealing with other shit, and these niggas got it twisted. So we want to definitely get into the roots of this, its relationship to the Yakubian experiment, as well as what's actually happening now, why you can have so much stuff and all of that, you know what I mean? So definitely holler at the homie. And we will definitely try to get you in a place. Like I said, seating will be limited, so I think we're only going to have like maybe room for maybe 40 people. That's why we're breaking it up into 2 different days. So that's going to be Saturday and Sunday. We'll give you the times and the location. Like I said, it's at Happy, excuse me, Loving Yoga Harlem, 231 St. Nicholas Avenue. For more information or pre-advance tickets, if you'd like to purchase them in advance, like I said, seating is limited both days, so please, again, come through. It's vital information. You know me, I don't play when it comes to what needs to be said, and I will say it when other people don't. And not only that, I show and prove, you know what I'm saying? So if you can, definitely come through. It'll be great. And we'd love to see you, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, again, holler at me for both events, 1917-500-9409 for the event. Again, our album release signing, book release signing at Cornerstone, which is 271 Adelphi Street, right there in what was the hood, which is now, gentrified Fort Greene. But again, we want to support the homies for showing us love. Again, Jason Wong and everybody over there at Cornerstone. Emmy, big up to Emmy Augustine, who produced some of the records on the joint. He's going to be spinning for us, I believe, that day. So, inshallah, please come through, give us a call, and we'll get you in. We're going to have flyers. We put them up on Facebook and all of that. So please come through, support the establishment, support your homies, and Team Cordova, and we're going to be there. So getting into what's got to get into is a lot. You know what I'm saying? One of the things, as this whole Batman massacre is unraveling, more and more things are coming out about that, which just are totally bugging. One of the things I found very interesting, big up to Brother Mandem Ross sent me this other info on this, which is interesting, is that your man James Egan, the Joker Holmes, who is the son of Robert Holmes, this guy, Robert Holmes, his father, created an algorithm that members of the Security Exchange Commission and some other people were trying to use to trace where that $1.2 trillion that these people been laundering ever since the Reagan era. He created an algorithm that would basically be able to hook up with the pertinent computers to basically trace exactly where all that money went. And right when he's basically about to get the algorithm out there, his son, who is being psychologically handled by whatever psychiatrist that worked at Princeton or whatever the school was, basically really tuned this guy up to go in there and do the thing that he did. Now, when they brought the guy out, the guy with the orange hair is not the guy that actually they showed you the day before. What I'm understanding is that these dudes was actually twins, that they're actually running a twin game. For those people who saw the movie The Prestige, you remember when Christian Bale, who again plays Batman, who again plays Anubis, who is Anubis, basically created a lie that they had running for years, in which that the guy was actually a twin. So when the one twin lost a finger, the other twin had to cut his finger off the same way in order for them to make everybody believe the lie. So again, this is called in shop talk, or what they call company talk, or what they call intelligence talk. They call that bait and switch. So the bait and switch is basically in, and basically the guy with the orange hair is not the guy with the darker hair, with the brunette hair. That guy's totally different. That's why they had the one with the orange hair the next day in court looking mad catatonic. Now, the other thing that was reported was that there were 3 different black men who reported that when shit was going down, they felt like the shots was coming from multiple areas, the same way they felt in Columbine that the shots was coming from multiple areas. So basically what that means is they got your man in a turkey shoot. The first time the turkey shoot was really put into play with assassination attempts was when your man JFK got caught out there with the mob and the CIA. Because what people don't realize or remember is that the mob has deep ties with the Central Intelligence Agency, because the Central Intelligence Agency actually used the mob to help them deal with what was going down with Castro in Cuba back in the day. Also, they used the mob to get rid of what they called the long hairs. The long hairs back in the historical context were those people who became known as the hippie generation. The mob was always there to maintain the status quo for itself, and so it became part of the Omerton, Omeraton program, in which they all began to work for the intelligence agency, because back in the days, from the time of the late 1930s up until the mid or early 1960s, the mob ran Cuba. They ran Batista. They ran all of that shit out of there. They was running drugs and bootlegging and all of that. With John F. Kennedy's father, with Meyer Lansky, with the people that they based the Corleone family, which is the Pagliacci family. This goes all the way back, you understand? But the funny thing is that in order for you to be known and recognized as a Don or a made man, they have to trace your ancestry back all the way. They say 150 years, but that's the bullshit. That's only if you got Italian roots. If you Sicilian roots, they have to trace your lineage all the way back to that first white woman that chose to S that D or that more and bring about that whole generation of what we now call Sicilian or Italian, or what they call a non-aberrant European, because that was the Yaqub aspect of the practice that the Moors was dealing with in places like Al-Andalusia and Malagra and Valencia and places like that, because they believed, or they thought that if they basically went up in there and started really flipping these white chicks, these white chicks, what they could do was actually create a new form of European that would be the buffer between them and the savage Visigothic or Germanic Europeans that they had been enslaving up until that point. So in essence, they decided to create a whole other form of black man, a pseudo-black man, through a white woman to help bleach out the rest of the savagery that was going on in Europe. Now, were they right? I mean, in hindsight, we all geniuses. I would rather them not. They should have imported a lot of more black sisters from Africa or from America and basically bedded them down and basically did that. But by that time, most of the Holy Roman Emperor black people, Moorish black people, had already started to be expelled and moved out. So they figured, well, hey, let's just do this. And so they did that. And the rest is history. But it doesn't make the whole thing a positive experiment, because their same children were the ones who wound up kicking us out. So at the time that we got kicked out to Castile and Aragon, or Castile and Aragon, the houses of Castile and Aragon, those houses were not European. Those houses were not Caucasian, as you would see them today in movies that they show you in Hollywood. All them people today, if we was to look at the people who existed in Castile and Aragon today, if we were back then and look at them, if we were in that time then, looking at the people who came from those places now, we would call them Moriscos, meaning little Moors, or better yet, they would look to us more like Dominicans or pseudo-mestizo Puerto Rican. You know what I'm saying? And under them, you had the other, Caucasoids that was more Germanic in birth or whatever, so they were more like the bottom of the totem pole until the Freemasonry system was adopted to help civilize these people and bring them back into the human family. And so the Moors decided, well, on top of that, why don't we just basically create a whole new race of them, and then they can rock Europe while we go back and forth for where we want to go. So again, in hindsight, that works because we were the dominant. But again, the more you dilute a cup of black coffee, the lighter the coffee get, the less strong and potent the caffeine. You dig what I'm saying? So it's the same thing with all of this. So it's the same thing with all of that. Don't touch that, okay? You heard? Get your Superboy? Okay. Good job. So this is what's going on. You know what I'm saying? They have that because that's what Daddy does. So it just got to a whole aspect of it. Everybody said peace. More says peace, guys. So that, again, leads to where we are today in terms of why we are so disconnected from one another, because this also goes into part of the history as to why Caucasian people have such animosity towards black people. But, again, it still doesn't explain, if that's the case, why is it that you have all of these Caucasian women or Caucasian males, gay males or whatever, having all these dark-skinned, nappy-headed black babies, and ain't nobody acting like something wrong with that? They're not just giving these babies together because they love them. How you grow up not around black people at all for, let's say, 20-some-odd years, and then you move to Brooklyn, and then in 2 summers you want to go adopt you a baby from Haiti? What kind of shit is that, man? How come ain't nobody peeping that this is actually a political mechanism, that this is actually an agenda to thwart and destroy the future of the melanated people on the planet by giving them a false idol? You don't never see no bear raise a deer cub. You don't never see a goat raise a what you call it. Just because they can don't mean that they do. You don't never see a bee raise a fly. You don't never see a butterfly trying to raise and give nurturing to a dragonfly. You don't see that in nature. The only people you see in nature do that is human beings. And of the human beings, the only people you see engaged in that specifically, agenda-wise, are the people who represent mankind. So let's do the knowledge, man. So then, again, good point. The homie Raphael said, yo, talk about how it happened. So me and Selena, after the whole Haiti thing went down, we talked about this when it happened. And we went down to the Haiti Refugee Center or whatever, where they was adopting, where they had lines of white people out there trying to adopt these black kids. So you can't tell me there ain't no bullshit. And not one black people, let me not exaggerate. There was like maybe 5 black people, and of that, we was the only like non-Haitian. And then everybody else, the other 35 to 40 people was waiting online, was all white folk. So then when we get up there, they talking about we done been married 13 years. I've been married longer than everybody in my family. You understand what I'm saying? Longer than my mother, my stepmother, my father, everybody. You dig? These niggas going to tell me and her, oh, well, we don't necessarily know if, you have the right environment right now because, you guys only have a 1-bedroom apartment. And, yeah, you have a kid already and you've been together or whatever, but we were looking for somebody with a little bit more space. Right? So then, boom. So I'm like, okay, so now you basically denying us the ability to take care of our own based on square footage? Like, okay. So here go Becky and them come in, and then they go in there. These niggas don't even have a crib. They just moved to Miami because they figured, well, we could be closer to Haiti or whatever if we have to go out there for our quote-unquote missionary work. And these niggas is okay in their application. So what does that say? That says that they want black kids to be raised by people that's not black. Because just like that billboard they had up in New York, for every black woman and black man in the country in New York to see, the worst place for a black child to grow is in the womb of a black woman. But then black women want to bitch at me because I'm talking about the fact that maybe they need to start wearing their own hair and people respect them more. But they got a billboard that I think is still up there. I got to see it. It was right by the BQE, man. They had it downtown, too. Talking about the worst place in the world for a child to be is in the womb. A black child to be is in this womb. And then, of course, they show a nappy-headed black child. It's not like they showing a little child with a perm. No, they showing the little black girl with locks. Because when black people get their children, let's just keep it 100, man. When black people get their children, you know how I know when a white woman's raising a black baby? Because that baby hair will just be however it's going to be. When a black woman have a child, you know what I mean, she's going to make sure that baby hair is kept. But because white folk don't know how to do nothing with black hair, you know what I'm saying, other than admire it, other than try to sew it in their own heads, right? They just let it just be what it is. You know what I'm saying? Or if the baby's light-skinned. That's what I peep, too. If a baby is lighter skinned, then the baby's hair can be all wild and nappy. But God forbid the baby dark skinned. You know what I'm saying? Unless the parents are strict Ross, you know what I'm saying? Where they on some bungle shit. But even then, most of these Ross chicks will have their baby's hair very, you know what I'm saying, tailored or whatever. So I say all of that to say that we still have issues with our own culture and representing that full force, just out there. If every black woman today cut the damn perm out of their head, if every black man today cut the damn perm out of his head and let his head just grow, the spiritual vibration of the planet will raise 110 degrees. I see, King. It will raise up. You understand? But they don't want that. But a lot of our people don't want that. And what I urge the Super Heru family is to do is to find out who in your family is really down for shit and who ain't. Because as you can see, you can just go to the movies and get shot up now, right? They won't even let you have entertainment. The very thing that they need to keep this society going before people just come and pull a Bane and cut off the whole city and shit, they don't want to even do that. So you gotta go to the thing with gas. You gotta go to a movie with bulletproof vests now. Fuck that. I'm gonna stay home and watch the bootleg like any sensible black person would do. So they giving this guy, the Joker, 24 counts of murder, and this nigga that they showed you on TV with the orange hair didn't even do it. He just the patsy for the other nigga. But here go the next flip on it. Not only did this nigga create the algorithm to do that, his brother is, and again, this is alleged, on the knowledge, his brother or cousin or whatever is Katie Holmes' pops. And remember, that bitch just broke away from the Scientology shit, remember? To be a Jesuit again. But their whole relationship, Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes, was really a political thing to merge the Scientology and the Jesuits all together. That didn't work, so now the Scientologists are trying to merge themselves with the Nation of Islam. What's up with that, man? Only people the Nation of Islam ever killed is black people. Name one person. Name one person, name one white man that any of these black organizations that ever murdered. And I'm not saying you need to do that to prove yourself worthy, but that's what these crackers do. They get stripes for how many niggas they kill. They get stripes for how many people, niggas that they string up. That's a badge of honor. Don't believe me? You know I got a movie for you, Tales of the Hood. Remember when he was in the pen with the white man, and the white man showed him all the tattoos and all the niggas that he killed? And he offered the slave position to the nigga because all that nigga ever did was raise up at some gang violence shit, killing other black men. We ever peeped that? What? Yeah. Okay. You bathed him already? Okay, cool. You can call this dude at 9:30 tonight. Mm-hmm. So it just got to a point where it's just like I'm just peeping game. So I peeped right before shit got heavy. She basically backed out of the shit. How she know that the shit was going to come down? Talking about Katie Holmes. Well, maybe because her cousin or her peoples in them was already being prepped. On the day that Lil Wayne came out with this video where he's in the movie theater with 12 skeletons is the same day that the psychiatrist who was the handler for the shooter got the blueprint of what the nigga was going to do. Did the psychiatrist take that to the police? No, he didn't. Why? Why wouldn't he do that? And how come he's not being prosecuted? Because that's a crime. As a psychiatrist, as an officer of the court, you have an obligation. If you know that your client is mentally unstable and is planning to go and commit a mass murder, it is your obligation to let everybody know. But is the psychiatrist getting locked up? No. Because this was a ritual, peoples. This is a ritual. Only niggas I ever know any of these niggas kill is Nation of Islam, or they only kill black people. So when niggas say that there was a connection between them and the FBI, or when we came out and we talked about the connection or the treaty that was made between them and the KKK, everybody wanted to come out and was like, oh, you bugging, that shit ain't real, you ain't got no proof, that. It's like, come on, man. Isn't it obvious? Isn't it obvious by this point? No, it's not, because niggas still believe what they tell, what they imams and they priests and they babas and everybody else tell them, than what their own damn intelligence tell them, what their own intuition tell them. You know what I'm saying? All this shit is ritual, man. Sorry. All of this shit is ritual. And you know who's helping perpetuate this? These fucking black Luciferian niggas, man. These straight up satanic niggas. So when we was talking about when I did the IWAS tape, to shed light on what exactly is going on with that. Hang it up. Go back out, please. Daddy, please. When we did that, we was going in on that. Certain members of the community talking about, oh, you talking about all that book of the law, that Crowley shit, all that. No, nigga, I'm explaining this shit because I know you niggas is about to come out in a couple of years and try to convince niggas that that this shit ain't really, that some of this shit ain't satanic. And most of it is. The difference with the eyewash shit and the book of the law shit was that if you compare that to all of the other psychotic writings of that asshole Crowley, you would see that there was something very different about that. And the fact that he tried to invoke Newt and Ralph Hewitt and all of that, there's something totally different going on with that. Because eyewash, again, is a manifestation of melanin. But again, to get into that, you know what I mean, you have to go on www.aseerthedugateers.com, get Babylon XD, this tape that I did with Brother Dawood, and you would see what I'm talking about. Because we went all the way in on that. But again, I'm coming from the perspective of building on what that shit really is about pertaining to us as melanated people. These niggas is trying to get you caught up in Kabbalistic ritual that's coming from the clip-off, which is the tree of death, and is manifesting it as if it's another form of life. So that way you can get caught up, and that way you can follow them, and you can start doing rituals and get inhabited with the same shit that they doing. Don't you think it's odd that most of the imagery now that's coming from hip-hop is all satanic, and that it's coming strictly from black people giving this to you? We remember coming up in the game when niggas tried to get on that horrorcore shit when they was trying to outdo Onyx, remember? Onyx came out with throw your guns in the air and all that, but they was keeping it gangster. They wasn't talking about eating babies and cutting niggas up and sacrificing them. Listen to that record Sacrifice on that Young Money album and hear them talk about cutting up babies and all this other type of shit. Look at these videos, I'm a Psycho and all of this with B.O.B. and Tech Nine and these niggas. Like, it's cool, you know what I'm saying? On some, like, entertainment shit once in a while, but it's like the pussiest niggas want to look like they serial killers. No. I didn't open the door when we came in. You did. I didn't leave with that key, babe. You were the last one out. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what's going on with that. So these black Luciferian niggas is really coming in and going hard with shit, putting you in a position or putting other people in a position to act like it's cool to diss the Creator. It's cool to diss God, all of that, right? Like, that's what it is, right? So they're trying to relate it like when we was talking about peace, God, through the 5% and all of that, that we were somehow indoctrinating ourselves in this form of it, that was another form of it. No, that's bullshit. All of this European occultism, Western technology, Western pseudo-spiritual technology, New Age, Luciferianism, Satanism shit, all came out of the Marquis de Sade after the war between Toussaint and them, where they kidnapped one of the biggest voodoo priests out of Haiti, tortured him, got some of the names of some of the Oguns and all of that, and then started to create their own versions of that work by giving it to the new fledgling Order of the Golden Dawn through McGregor Mathers, who happens to be Eminem's great-great-great-grandfather. Don't you think it's interesting that this nigga's name is Marshall Mathers and then McGregor Mathers? I got a picture of both of them. It's like a reincarnation of the same energy. But again, because we as at the crib. So based on all of this, like I said, this is where it's going, man. Excuse me. You know what I'm saying? So all of this is going on. You get shootouts. Thank you for bringing that up. Niggas are still shooting themselves up at the Rutgers, right? Niggas are still shooting black babies. The other day, they had a shootout of some drive-by and a 2-year-old baby gets gunned down. But the way I know it's some ritual shit is because on the cover of the picture they use of the baby's wearing Disney ears, Mickey Mouse ears. The same time when the police ran up in that woman's house, ran up in that black family house, I believe in Philly or Maryland or whatever, and just cold shot the baby in the crib,
When they showed her in the paper, she was behind the princesses from Disney. So I know there's something with the New York Times and the Post with printing all of these black ritual killings, and then somehow or another, all of them is connected or got some type of Disney iconography behind it. Like, I don't know. Like, one thing I was dope about that Dark Knight movie, there was a point where the guy who's going to be the new Batman basically comes in to save Commissioner Gordon. And Commissioner Gordon is like, look, if you're going to be down with me, then first things first, as a detective now, you got to get rid of the idea of coincidence, because as a detective, you know you don't have the luxury of believing in coincidences no more. So we've been on that. So if there ain't no coincidences, this is what the white man is telling you. That means that everything that's happening is happening by a specific design, that there's a method to the madness. And the closer you get to figuring out, the more you got these black Luciferian niggas coming through trying to convince you that somehow or another that you can be God just of yourself and not subsist on anything or anybody else, that anything you want to do to anybody else is okay. Do what thou wilt is not the same as by any means necessary, but it's similar. Do what thou wilt by any means necessary. Give me liberty, give me death. You understand? These are specific mantras that come along, and generations get identified by these things. And this becomes the way to do it. And this becomes the way to think. So we are now in the total post, quote-unquote, we are in the Antichrist era. You understand? This is the aeon of Horus, the fictitious Horus, two guys through Crowley trying to be the beast. So the more you see these niggas trying to scare you and have hearses and all this type of shit around them and trying to, you know, convince you that the dark side and that it's okay to exploit and get involved with sex rituals with chicks and turn them out and do this and do that, those niggas are Crowleyites, and you got to separate yourself from them, because these niggas is going to have your immortal soul. You understand? It ain't no joke, man. You didn't get into this consciousness just to sell you. You did not get into this consciousness, this awareness of yourself, your ancestors, the true and living soul in the aspect of what we call the divine creator, to protect yourself from what the devil or the Antichrist Freemasons are giving you, just to then sell your soul to a black devil. That's what y'all niggas is doing. Don't you find it odd that Sylvia dies, Miss Melody dies, Sherman Helmsley dies? Then on the same day Sherman Helmsley died, the video for Amen come out with this nigga Meek Mill basically talking about he keeping secrets for the Illuminati. Like, what kind of shit is this, man? Is it me? Am I bugging? Am I looking too deep into it? Because sometimes, man, I tell you. So Katie Holmes' cousin and them is the nigga who shot up everything, right? This nigga, he then twinned him out. He's two different people, right? They pulled the Oswald on you, right? Another one, right? Then this nigga also, the reason why, what's the motive? The motive is you got to get back at the father and shut him down, because that algorithm that he created is going to basically reveal to the people when we get back to it where all the money went. I could tell you where it went. It went to Barclays of London. It went to Lloyd's Bank of London. It went to IMF. It went to George Soros. It went to the World Wildlife Fund. It's easy. It's right there. Come on, man. How all these niggas, how Miss Melody just found, she just dead. Nobody know how she died. Sylvia, she just died of a heart attack. Come on, man. And yeah, she ate all that artery clogging food and all of that, right? You know what I'm saying? But you don't get a heart attack from that. You get a stroke from that. You get a stroke from artery clogging. You don't get a cardiac arrest from that. Any first year med student will tell you that, man. So, again, this is what's going on. This is what's popping in the hood. They bugging. You know what I'm saying? Then, like I said, a little girl slain in Brooklyn. There's these death squads that's over here in Brooklyn that's doing drive-bys on people that are not brothers from the hood. These are other people. These are, quote-unquote, pseudo-death squads that they done contracted CIA, whoever, the contract, same way you have them in Africa. No, same way you'll have them in Africa when they come through and they're cutting off little baby heads and stuff like that, and raping the women and cutting on, putting all the arms in a pile and all that. All of that is Mossad, CIA. That's what they do. You understand? So you got to watch the patterns. How is it that you could just roll up on any nigga in the street and whatever with arms and guns, but niggas are driving around with guns in the car, ain't nobody stopping them. They speeded through the car. They speeded through the hood after blasting dudes. Where niggas is getting collision costs and all that in the hood? They just had a big ring up the block where they just busted 33 dudes right up the block from where we staying. These niggas had the biggest chop shop with exotic custom bikes in the whole state. These niggas was flipping it. Who sold them out? One of their own. One of their brothers who was in from the beginning. Got bagged up on some Trump charge shit. He starts singing. They send him in on the undercover, and boom, everybody shit gets shut down. Right? They were selling that, and they were selling guns. But who ain't doing that? You know how many guns Eric Holder sold in the Fast and Furious fiasco? You know how many guns? You know how many people died with all of them guns? Do you realize that one of the reasons why you have no Mexican government to this day right now is because these niggas, Eric Holder and these niggas, was supplying these niggas with guns and then named it after a movie, The Fast and the Furious? And then when I say that they do everything based on a movie, they like, oh, I see you bugging. That's some conspiracy shit. But they naming everything they doing. Didn't Ronald Reagan name the missile defense system Star Wars? Did he call it that? Like, what's the deal, man? Why is it when Alex Jones or one of these agents come out and say it is a problem? But because these niggas suck Peter Moon and Preston Nichols and Jordan Maxwell and the rest of these niggas, they like these niggas. They want to be down with them. You got niggas that want to be, that's black, that's want to be in Skull and Bones and that shit. But guess what, nigga? That's they number 322 that represent Hebrew, right? That represent the number for Hebrews. But guess what? That's also a certain other person's magical number. Therefore, when I said back in the days that we are the original Illuminati or quote-unquote Illuminati, I mean, I'm not talking about these niggas out here today. I'm talking about going back to the Alumbrados. Let's do the history, people. The original Illuminati was connected to the Bavarian Holy Roman Empire through Henry I, Duke of Bavaria, set up the Alumbrados to help put the Moors back in power. And Ignatius Loyola took the whole idea and then created the Society of Jesus with that. And then from the Society of Jesus, they hooked up with your man Weishaupt later, and then Weishaupt recoined the Alumbrados Illuminati. He just used the English version of the word. So when I'm talking about us as the original of that, going all the way back to time immemorial, I ain't talking about these skull and bone, whack-ass niggas that came on the scene after the 1700s. That's who these black Luciferian niggas want to be down with. That's who they want to be. They want to be with Prescott Bush. They want to be with all these niggas, man. If I walk out the street and I see another nigga wearing some type of upside-down cross or whatever in the hood, or with some type of piercing in his lip, like, we ain't do none of that. That shit only became popular after 2000, nigga. And even, let's not even say that. That shit only started popping 3 years ago. So let's really keep it real, and let's stop lying to ourselves about what's really going on, man. These niggas want to create new devils in this society, and that's what Yaqub is there to do, because you can say whatever you want about the white man, the grafted made devil, but who grafted that? Who grafted and made that devil? That was Yaqub, who was an amoral scientist. They also, one plus lesson I got, they used to call him the big head scientist. They said that the picture that Crowley put up of Lamb is actually a bastardized version of one of the graves. No, they're saying that that's actually the version or the image of Yaqub that was translated through one of his pseudo rituals or whatever. And they call Yaqub the big head scientist. They said that his brain was twice the size of his head. So what does that mean? That means that you have niggas that's basically from that time to now who are ancestrally involved with the experiment to keep it going, whether they genetically remember it consciously or not. That's what they doing. They keeping it going. So, of course, Crowley's going to come in and do all of that because this is the era in which he did it. All that rock shit, all of this satanic shit, all of that. Listen to Ozzy Osbourne's song, Mr. Crowley, if you really want to see how deep it is. Everybody knows these niggas are satanic. Everybody knows that the state religion of London is Luciferianism. Come on, man. Why you think the Church of London broke away from the Catholic Church to begin with? The Anglican Church to begin with? It's deep, man. So again, this new Crowleyism is the new black Luciferian way that these niggas are trying to catch you up, and they'll use anything to get you in it. They'll use the Orishas, they'll use the Kamijan gods, they'll use the Yoruba gods, they'll use the Voodoo, the Palomayombe, the Candomblé, the Santo Muerte. They'll use all of it to convince you that you need to deal with it like they did, when really they get you a part of the death cult. There's the Brotherhood of Death and the Brotherhood of Eagles, and these niggas got it twisted because these niggas be doing, but again, it's this whole Freemasonic shit. Again, in the hood, these black Scottish Rite niggas that's out here wearing aprons all the time, leaving their families behind, making secrets, making deals, offering up their children, having sex with each other. This is what's going on, man. Y'all niggas think it's a joke. Like, how is it that the main nigga who Khalid Muhammad kicked out of the Black Panthers because he was for the fact of being ultra divisive? How is it that this nigga is the number one nigga when it comes to consciousness? When everybody wants a DVD, they gotta go. What's up with that, man? Like I said, it's to the point where somebody sent me Facebook the other day an image of this nigga, the president, with an Aleister Crowley shirt on. You know how disgusted I was when I saw that? I almost vomited in my mouth. How disgusted. You think that nigga will wear a Crescent and Star shirt? T-shirt? Are you crazy? You think he'd wear a Haile Selassie shirt? Hell no. But you go wear a Crowley, right? So then somebody said, oh, well, that was superimposed. That's whatever. Everybody want to come out, oh, well, you know, we got to get us that, man. Tired of giving respect to niggas that don't give respect to nobody else, man. Tired of that. Tired of living in a world where anything that I express, niggas want to be ultra sensitive with it, but they can say whatever they do, whatever they want in front of these kids, and it'd be okay. I didn't get into the conscious movement for that, man. No, I'm not talking to myself, JC. I'm talking to everybody. Because sometimes I can't take calls because niggas will talk and we won't get to the bottom of what it is. I got to go in like this because this is the only way niggas hear me. You know what I'm saying? Because, again, I don't know what anybody else is doing because I don't listen to nobody else is doing. I can only know what I'm doing because I don't want to be influenced by nobody else because I don't know who's around trying to influence these niggas on some black devil shit. And when I see little shit, subtle shit, and what these people's character and agenda is really about, I keep it moving. Because I'm also not a snitch. I ain't here to just always blow niggas up. But at the same time, if we don't say what it really is, then what's going to happen? Oh, well, I didn't know that. How come you ain't say nothing? That be the niggas' first shit. So I go through my little tirades and all of that on the show sometimes just to show niggas how outraged I am with shit because it seems like everybody's cool with it, man. Niggas can have 50 million Facebook posts, you know what I mean, with who they in love with, who they want to have sex with, who they want to do this with. I put up a post showing how you got a hunting range in South Africa where they are hunting black children and shooting them like game, the world's most dangerous game, and it's mad, you know, I get mad likes, but nobody comment. Come on, man. And then niggas expect niggas to just put they neck out on the line like this? People can't even comment on shit that's actually real. So I'm supposed to what? Lead a picket line, lead people towards something. When these niggas turn around, these niggas will be the first ones out on you, son. I thank God every week that I have a platform to be able to speak and go in on it like this, and other people can listen and go in and add their 2 cents in it, just for the fact, just to have an alternative voice. Because these black people don't want to stand for nothing but fall for everything, man. Sad, yo. So then while all of this is going on, the Lord of the Rings pop off, which is the whole Olympic event, right? First thing I see is the image in the Daily News paper says the rings of fire, right? The 5 rings, right? 5 rings to unite them, 5 rings to bind them, 1 ring to rule them all, right? Right? Isn't that what Tolkien wrote? That's a great question. One of the main things you can do if you consider yourself conscious is to be aware of what you're conscious of. Take time and peep the subtleties in what people's nature is. The shit that people don't say sometimes be louder than the shit they do say. For instance, we at the crib, where we staying, Selena goes to knock at the lady's door upstairs. The lady don't hear for whatever reason, but I don't know how she can't because it's the door right there. Knock, 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 knock. Nobody goes. So she got to go outside, ring the doorbell from the outside, right? Girl still don't get the thing. But what happened is somebody was coming inside, right? So as the woman was coming inside, the chick that she was trying to get to open the door say, "Oh, were you knocking?" So Selena was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh, well, I didn't hear it." You see how A5 telling themselves? You see, if you ain't hear what I was doing, if I wasn't knocking, why would you ask me if I was knocking if you didn't hear me knocking? Because you did hear me knocking. You just wanted me to wait. You just didn't want to come to the door right then. And this is what I mean with black people, man. That type of shit, that little type of shit is the shit that's strangling us. Because it's these little jabs that we want to keep giving to each other. See what I'm saying? Just like I'm speaking, I ran in, Selena goes to the store one morning after we had a little disagreement, like argument or whatever. Wake up in the morning, she goes to the store. Who she see in the store but somebody wearing Steve Coakley's shirt. So she goes, she like, yo, that's one of the heroes. You know what I'm saying? So the brother's looking at her like, well, who are you? Because, you know, these brain dead black people don't know who he was, right? She was like, what? He was the one who told us about the boule. If it wasn't for him, we would still think people like, you know, these boule niggas was cool. He was like, no doubt. So then she started going in, like, yo, what happened, man? Because we still investigate. We still investigating it ourselves. Not only his murder, but the murder of Khalid, the murder of Ivan Van Sertima, the murder of Dr. Clark. Like, you think these people just be dying, just like that? The murder of Whitney Houston. So long story short, he's like, oh, well, he called me 7 days before he died. He told me, hey, brother, I don't know, man, but I think this woman, a black woman, poisoned me. The same shit that happened to Khalid Muhammad said that a black woman, this woman's name was Ambush. This woman's last name was Ambush because she worked at this shoe store. This is the woman who killed Khalid Muhammad and helped poison him. Her last name was Ambush. So all these rich boule niggas or whatever, they go to this store in the city or whatever that's owned by this old Jew, right? And this is where they all pay to get their $17,000 shoes and, you know, whatever shit from, right? Well, that whole store was a Mossad CIA front for years. And all of they little COINTELPRO people that send them in there to do things or whatever. So one day Khalid go up in there and he see this black woman who the white Jew guy who's running the shit calls his daughter. And so I guess he tried to holler at her, whatever. And I guess because these Mossad niggas was controlling her as a slave or whatever. And again, her last name is Ambush. go out on a couple of dates with her, took her to dinner. She cooked him dinner one time, allegedly the story go, and then after that, started having problems. You know what I'm saying? Not only that, also cutting himself off, I think, from the ancestral connection by making fun of a libation one time that he did. But there was niggas around him at the time who was trying to shut him down and was acting like his friends that was setting him up. So again, when I say that they be using these women as biological weapons against you, black man, you better get ready. You better get hip to it, man. Stop chasing after all these exotic chicks, all these chicks who ain't never been around no black man, never seen no black man until rap, until they seen a Lil Wayne video, and then it's like, oh, okay, this is what I want. You know what I'm saying? You got to watch the subtleties of this consciousness, because it's not just about being conscious all the way anymore. It's about linking your words and your actions. If this person is in your life and you know this person is a negative influence in your life, you got to get rid of that person in your life, because the longer they're there, the more you're going to pay for it. If you are a conscious being and you want to make a decision and stand by it, man, regardless of who or what. If you are going through an initiation or something and they telling you, oh, you got to do this and you got to do that, and your spirit is telling you, no, I don't feel I should do that, this don't feel right to me, then listen to that spirit, man. Listen to what's going on in you. Don't just listen to this nigga because he dressed in all white and he got 50 million onks on and he got beads on and everybody calling him Baba and bowing to him or her. Stop it, man. Stop the idol worship. That's idol worshiping. You're selling yourself short. Look into what's happening. You have these biological weapons that's out here blowing shit up. But because you're looking for anthrax or you looking for napalm or something else, you're not looking at the person that you're sleeping with. If you only around women because you want to have sex with them, something wrong with you. If you only around girls as a woman because you don't want to be alone, something wrong with you. You understand what I'm saying? It's better you be by yourself and keep your sanity than be around everybody and go totally crazy. Because women get influenced by what other women want to do. And you have women, black women, let's keep it real. You got black women that's out here breaking up homes. You got black men that's out here sleeping with other niggas' wives on the low, son. Having babies with them, making niggas raise the baby like it's this nigga baby. And then when they break up, they don't even want to keep the secret, tell them why. Because we was a part of this organization, because we was a part of this initiation, because we went through this whole rites of passage shit together. A lot of these rites of passage, these ain't no real rites of passage like we used to have them, son, prior to the devil's intrusion in our society. These niggas, these Masonic, Freemasonic niggas talking about the rituals and shit they go through. No, nigga, the real ritual in Kemet was if you wanted to be found, elect, and become the noble, they would kill you, put you in the pyramid, and then you have to resurrect yourself and find your way out. Are you ready to do that? That's what it say in the Emerald Tablets. That's what it say in the Egyptian Book of the Dead. I don't know what these niggas is reading. Niggas ain't trying to go that deep, though. Niggas ain't trying to be that free in Masonic. You understand what I'm saying? There was no such term as Freemason in ancient Kemet. There was no such term as Mason in ancient Kemet. Let's really keep it real. So, again, all this goes down. The Satanic Olympics begin. And just like in Batman, when Bane shut down the whole city, he did it at a stadium game, at some sort of big, giant, stadium football game. Right after they sang the anthem, they said, let the games begin. So when I look at the daily news that day, it should say, let the games begin. It's games on. Then when you open it up, they got a double picture of this giant Luciferian eye made out of fireworks that's covering the entire stadium. All these niggas is Masons, man. All of them, G. All of them. All of them. Farrakhan, all of them, G. All of them. Them niggas are so zealous in there that you can't even say nothing. You can't even say nothing. Disagreement or whatever without filling out paperwork or going before the minister and saying this and that. Like, I understand the initial aspects in NOI, but the NOI fucks with is the Honorable Elijah Muhammad NOI, G. That's just me. That's just me, because I get down with that. When I read Message of the Black Man, I read that for me. That resonated to me. You know what I'm saying? When I read How to Eat to Live, when I read The Fall of America, these are the books that was real, son. But like all organizations, they get corrupted, man, from within by niggas who always wanted the spotlight but never got it. And so they kill a nigga to get in and then join a Masonic thing to help everybody protect their secret. This nigga want to get rid of all of the people who do readings and tarot readings and stuff like that, but you want to be down with the Scientologist, nigga? Fuck out of here, man. Anyway, with all of that, then I turn the page, right? Then I look, the next page, it says, the best by none. Like the Billy Goat Gruff, like by Billy Goat, right? So then right under that, they got a picture of what? They got the Queen, right? They Queen. They got the three patsies behind her, the Prince of Monaco, but then over her right shoulder, I'm bugging, they got this, that's this nigga, Hans von Kolvenbach, the Black Pope, out in the open, standing behind the Queen in the paper. But the wild shit is that they list everybody's name but his. Then they have the ritual where they have her jumping out the plane, right? A fictitious version of her or an actress or whoever jumping out the plane, right? After she gets escorted down the path by Daniel Craig, who is playing the new James Bond, right? The Nazi James Bond, but who's also playing Lucifer in the new movie that's coming out this winter, called Lucifer. And they brought them all out. Wiggled out Muhammad Ali and his all white, his ritual, right? Then they had the witches with the umbrellas. Remember the Umbrella Corporation, Mary Poppins and all that, flying through the air, showing you again that we here in London are down with this satanic Wicca rich shit, right? Then I got a nice picture of Kate Middleton, the Devil Princess, right? Giving a Masonic handshake to your homegirl, the president's wife, right? Then they got Billy Shears, who is Paul McCartney, the guy who killed, actually the walrus. I don't know if you ever heard this term, but the term is the walrus is Paul. The walrus is Paul. That was a song that was done after they killed the original Paul McCartney and replaced him with Billy Shears from a group called Billy and the Pepper Pots. Most of the initial songs that the Beatles came out with were done, remade songs from this obscure group called Billy and the Pepper Pots. And Billy Shears, who looked the most like Paul McCartney, was the first one who was roped into it. Because right when they seen that Paul was trying to lead a group, they knew they needed to get rid of him because the Beatles represented the resurrection of this Luciferian energy. Because remember, the scarab or the beetle is a symbol of resurrection. So using the four beetles, representing the four corners, representing the four winds, was going to allow them to create a new hysteria in which now puts the whole modicum of British entertainment, British rock, infuse that into the American rock, which could then all be used as a psychological intervention to create a generational gap between the children and their parents. Because music, all music, especially rock and satanic music, is only marketed to children. So we do the knowledge as we go further in this ritual that your man Billy Shears, after Paul was decapitated in the car accident, they did a Paul McCartney lookalike contest in which this guy Billy Shears or whatever won. After that, the operation that was created, the name of the operation that was created to do this now, because the rest of the Beatles was okay with, I don't want to say okay with it, but what could they do? So right when they decided to break up or whatever, there was this real heated argument or whatever between him and John Lennon. And that's when John Lennon started making records dissing Billy Shears, basically calling him out, saying he ain't the real Paul and this, and that. That's when Operation Walrus was created, which was a real operation, COINTELPRO operation, which Hoover and them decided that the job was not only to kill John Lennon, but to destroy anything that he was trying to do, because as a Luciferian, he broke the oath by coming against them. That's why he broke out and left London, because MI6 was trying to kill him because he was revealing what was going on through the Vietnam War shit and the fact that America was really being run by Nazis. And so he came out, and so they made a song dissing John called The Walrus is Paul, because, again, the name of the operation was Operation Walrus. And that was to not only destroy John Lennon, but to destroy and lampoon all of the works that he was doing. See, this is the part of rock history that they don't want to get into. This is shit you ain't going to see on Behind the Music and all this other shit. This is shit you got to actually look into and figure out. So, essentially, all of this plays out now when he gets knighted and then marries the one-legged chick, right, who he had to pay an exorbitant amount of money to keep quiet. You understand? She said that I know something about him that if I reveal it, it would change the face of the world. This is what she said. She said, so he's going to give me what he's supposed to give me, and he did. Because the original chick that he was married to at the time, after they did the bait and switch, he didn't speak to her. She didn't even know. He dumped her or had his people dump her over the phone, and that's when he hooked up with this chick, Lisa, who he married, the one-legged chick. So, again, we're talking about heavy, heavy Luciferian ritual, you understand? And all of them are in that. Rolling Stones, they was down with the killing of Peter Tosh. People don't even know how Bob Marley, who hit Bob Marley. Bob Marley was hit by a dude named Colby, who was the son of the CIA director, William Colby, who mysteriously got killed right after that. He was the one who brought Bob the boots. Because prior to the Free Jamaica concert, what was happening was that Michael Manley, who was rightly elected, the United States government needed a conduit to flip the drug money that they was moving up from places like Bolivia and Peru. So Jamaica was perfect for them as a port of call. And so they needed to destabilize the Jamaican government in order for them to be able to have a means to produce the political unrest that would eventually turn into the political wars between the JLP and the PNP, both of which were CIA fronts and were fronted by the same death squads and stuff that's going on right now in the hood, that's running through drive-by and killing everybody all of a sudden. Niggas stopped doing drive-bys when the gang troops came through. So now they just automatically started again. We just started just hating each other again just automatically, and now it became that. Come on, man. So long story short, with Bob, people don't even know that Rita got shot in the head that day, too, when they tried to run up in his crib. The day of the actual concert, they tried to kill Rita. She's there on the stage with her head bandaged up. You don't see the bandage, but the bandage is under the head wrap she had on. She's still singing, trying to shut him down. Why? Because he was putting in his music what was happening in terms of what the CIA was doing, not only to Jamaica, but to Ethiopia. And people was listening all over the world. So what did they do? They bring him the boots. I don't know why they let Colby, the white man, up into the Blue Mountains with all these rosters and let this nigga give him a pair of boots anyway, but whatever. They say, put on the boots. Ouch. They ripped the boot open, found a copper wire that was laced with the cancer carcinogen. Then, because he didn't want to do it, whatever, so they said, oh, we got a great holistic doctor for you. That's when they hook him up with ISILs, right? When he went and hooked up with ISILs, who was the Crowleyan, Luciferian butt buddy and student of Joseph Mengele, a.k.a. Dr. Green, a.k.a. the Zodiac Killer. This is black history, man. You know what I'm saying? You ain't never gonna find out who killed Tupac directly. You ain't never gonna find out who killed Biggie. But they'll find who Tyrone shot in the drug game, in the drug deal, right? So like I said, all bets is off. When your quote unquote president could be on Facebook with a damn Aleister Crowley shirt on and nobody say nothing, this means that the Black Luciferians is really doing their thing. So if you're down with that, be down with that. That's another thing I'm saying too. Like, keep it real. If that's what you really on, if you really on some Black Devil Yakub shit, then be about that, man. Then be Crowley. Do as much sex rituals and all that you want to do, G. Just keep that shit over there. Keep that shit away from my babies. Keep that away from your babies. If that's what you want to be, do that. But don't promise your children. Don't promise my children. Don't promise Black people children. But God don't like ugly and cute neither. Because one of the attorneys that was caught up in, who worked directly under the Attorney General, who was one of the main devils that was dealing with antitrust laws. These are laws that sit up to break into people's private family trusts and break them up and destitute families. This nigga got struck by lightning. Actually, that's not true. The church got struck by lightning, and then the rampart fell on the nigga and killed him. So the ancestors still doing something. They had to shut down work on the World Trade Center thing because so many niggas was showing up drunk that niggas been dying. Do you know over 150 people done died in the building of that monstrosity that they building up there right now? So again, let's run down a list. Miss Melody, dead. Sylvia, dead. Sherman Hemsley, dead. How did it happen? Nobody knows. Randy Jackson in the paper said they're isolating my mother the same way they did Michael Jackson, which means they're probably going to kill her too. This is what this nigga said. And they still disrespect him, still calling him Jacko, still calling him this, still calling him that. Why? Because you had all these black comedians who receive a stipend or money every time they said shit like O.J. did or Michael Jackson actually did have sex with kids and shit like that. Anytime you want to debate yourself as a black entertainer, you will receive millions of dollars for it. Don't get it twisted. All of those people are down with it. Do you understand when I say that? All of them. If you want to see somebody that's guilty, go into one of these Hollywood parties and throw a rock. Whoever the rock hit is down with it. All of them people was there partying while Whitney Houston was upstairs dead, and they was going upstairs doing little sex rituals and satanic rituals and shit over her. And ever since then, who been coming up? Who been coming up? Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's gotten to the point where, like I said, they doing all of this. Yeah, that's him. But we still doing all of this. Who done came up behind all of this death, man? I knew some niggas who couldn't wait for certain people to die so that way they could come out with different paraphernalia and sell it. Alexis used to call them undertakers. Then they find another dude, another quote-unquote patsy that they want to show like, oh, this is a problem. Because really the problem with this whole shooting up shit, the movie theater and all of that, is that they was trying to basically come out against guns because they scared to move on you as an American populace because they know all y'all niggas is packing. So they need to actual outcry to start based upon all this heinous violence, so that way everybody can stand behind a bill to just ban firearms from civilians altogether. The day that American populace, or the day that these white folk let them crackers do that to them, it's over for everybody. But let me tell you this, the NRA ain't having it. They not having it. They will come to the hood and give niggas guns to stop these crackers from doing shit. So don't get it twisted. You know? Just because the gay agenda is being promoted by a lot of people who are in different situations like that, don't necessarily mean that everybody's down with that shit. Just because you got a bunch of different people, a bunch of scared minority, quote-unquote, minority people who join up with the police and join up with everything else, but coming into their own community, setting up their own security force or whatever, just like the Jews do, they don't want to do that. Because there's a part of them that hate themselves, and they want to prove to their master that they can hold the whole thing down for the white man too. So again, don't get it twisted. When you're dealing with this consciousness thing, you got to deal with it. You got to also deal with it from the perspective of where you are. You can't base your consciousness off of anybody else. You got to reach your level of excellence, not nobody else's. Whenever you're in situations that people try to make you feel guilty or make you feel whack for being yourself, those are people that's trying to feed on you. Those are people that are trying to turn you against yourself and make your ego a version of their ego. All these people satanic, man. You can't be in that game and not be into that. That's where if you are a black man or black woman and you want to produce your talent and all that, take it from somebody who know, man. You got to do all of it yourself, because these niggas is not going to help you, man. You got to do it all yourself. And hopefully people can see the diligence in your work and maybe, slide you $1 here and there. But the amount of donations and stuff that we have gotten was enough, to get a DVD burner, keep it real with you. And we've been on for 3 and some odd years for free. You understand? But again, I got to bring it up, because if I don't say nothing, then niggas think it's all good. But it's not. I got to sometimes fight to make sure this show go on Monday night. People don't even know what we got to go through sometimes just to stay consistent for everybody. But when we get 3,000 plus listeners, if every listener would just leave $1, $5, you know what I'm saying? And I'm saying that euphemistically, because when I say that, niggas will be like, okay, I'm just sending them $1. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it is. But you know what Madonna did with Daniel Matt, the dude she got translating the Zohar? She didn't even know this nigga. She just heard about him, that he was on point with his translations, and she bumped this dude off with $15 million off the rip and just said, just here, this is enough for you to just go somewhere, live your life, and just take as long as you need to bust this whole Zohar down for us. Because what they're trying to do is take the old Zohar, the Moorish version, and then add their little satanic shit in it, in the new Zohar, through this dude, Matt. The whack shit is, though, that out of everybody's translations, he's one of the best ones in terms of the New Age people, in terms of understanding Kabbalah. 15 mil, son. Niggas was beefing when I was trying to charge $20 to come into the lecture, when it cost me $350 to get the space. So at the end of the night, I'm not even breaking even. And no, it's not all about the money, but if this is all I'm doing, if I've dedicated this whole shit to help niggas decode shit and break shit down or whatever, and I'm not out here extorting, I'm not out here having sex with every other dude's girl, I'm not out here trying to swindle people and do false paperwork and all this other shit for them, I've turned down money. I've turned down money to work with certain people because I know the bullshit they on. And I don't want to be associated with that. And I don't want people to come to me with that. Not that I care about what people think, but I want to be consistent with my word. So if I say I'm not dealing with this person, you ain't never going to see me deal with them again. People don't have that type of conviction, but I do. So I'm not going to act like I don't to make other people feel comfortable about what they're not doing. Because when you're a conscious person, another thing happens is niggas automatically start trying to feel like they're competing with you. Like what you're doing ain't enough. So you got to, oh, you do yoga? I did that. Oh, you got locks? I used to have those. Like, yeah, but you ain't got them now. Why are you competing with somebody that's not even a race with you, man? So another black male teen in the Bronx, his father come home, find him dead in the park with a bullet in his head. Nobody know how it happened. But all I see is a bunch of pigs standing around the body. Why is this always the case, man? But, of course, the school system is in the toilet in New York, right? You think this dude is creating a national referendum to help institute a new form of educational system to help everybody come up and get American test scores or whatever? No. He's sending more aid to Israel. Why? Because China, Russia, and Iran is about to go in on them niggas. About to go in on them. When I was telling people back in the days that the United States already started invading Nigeria and started invading Syria and all that, everybody's like, oh, that's not true. Now it's happening. Everybody's like, oh, well, maybe it is true. But I told you why they started the Nigeria shit, because Nigeria is the only country in the world, big up to Nigeria as much as they be on their scam shit, they the ones who pull out a formal red notice indictment against Dick Cheney for murder. Your president's cousin. You got to like to big that up. So on one side, what, he allegedly related to Malcolm X. On the other side, he related to Prescott Bush. Come on, man. Come on, man. What kind of Mr. Potato Head genetics is that? So again, let's reiterate. These people don't have power to do that, but they have the power of suggestion. Because a lot of people's defenses is down, they're easily manipulated into what other people's agendas want them to be about. Especially because a lot of our people don't stand for nothing real. At least. We'll stand for shit like, Jay-Z tickets. You know what I'm saying? Marching to get locked up after they shoot a nigga, right? But we don't do shit like they was doing in Oakland recently, where they shot the black man. They not only beat the police almost to death, they ran into the police and shut it down. They ain't talking about that. Do you realize that there's protests all over the world? Millions of people are totally against this quote-unquote order, but you're not seeing none of that. All you're seeing is the piecemeal news they give you. Because, again, they know. Most Americans come here to forget their culture. Most Americans come here just to get money. The God of most Americans is money. That's it. So all of these movements and all the things that's going on in the world, what's positive? What's actually enlightening? What's actually helping? Well, you got to look in your own life for that. You got to look at the stuff that you are doing in your life to make sure that your circumference is such that none of the things that we are building on are going into the situation to get you caught up in it. You will never hear me tell you, don't do that, don't read that, don't listen to him. You ain't never going to hear me say that, and you never will. What you will hear me say is, well, if you listen to niggas, pay attention to what they're saying. If you're going to join up with the lodge, find out what the dues are before you get in, before you commit to the ritual. If you're going to cut that chicken, make sure you say a prayer for the chicken before you do it, and don't allow the Babalawo to do it for you. If you're going to have sex with that girl, wear a condom. If you're going to have sex with that man, make sure he has a condom. If you don't, have your own. But if you're going to have sex with somebody, if you're quicker to have sex with a nigga than kiss him, then something's wrong with you. If it's easier for you to just let somebody in your body than to actually be intimate with them, something's wrong with you. Yo, these devils got it to the level where there's a website called deathclock.com where you point in your own birthday and they give you the date and the time that you're going to die. That shit get almost 1 million. That shit almost get like 20,000 hits like a month. This is how much people are longing for depth in the society. You understand? This is what's going on. And now while all this is going on, they're trying to convince you that Zuckerberg is broke. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, yo. Come on, people. It's a bigger world out here than we even understand yet, and we wasting time on the details, and the details are strangling niggas, man, because we're not looking at the right ones. We're looking at the ones that they left out there for you to look at. You really look at that Batman movie, G. Again, get the bootleg. But really look at that Batman movie, G, because it was very, very poignant for me. Really do the knowledge. Because one thing that Bane was dope about Bane was that he was a socialist, right? But he also was a loyalist. Everything he did for a woman, for his woman. You understand? Because he was really the stepson of the bad guy from the first movie, Ra's al Ghul, who's really in the comic books an Arab. But of course, you know, they can't have no Arab be the main bad guy in the TV, you know what I'm saying, in the movie. So of course Liam Neeson get the job. But Ra's al Ghul is a dude, is a dark Arab too. And one of the things that also I peeped was that the niggas did it right. They took over the city from the ground up. You dig? Because who were the people who did it? The civil servant people, the janitors, the construction workers. These are the niggas who was down with the League of Shadows. These are the people who they are most scared of in the United States. To the point where when it happened in the movie, the rest of the country basically just was like, oh, well, we can't even deal with them. Gotham is on its own. Basically is how they was. So it really also showed me, as New York is the mecca for that, it showed me that this is exactly like a blueprint. It's a test run. You understand? Again, they're creating supervillains for you right now. Then they name this dude the Joker. Wasn't the other guy Ishmael X? Wasn't the other guy the Unabomber? Didn't they have the Spider-Man Strangler at one time? They stay making supervillains up for you because they're putting you in the myth. Go back and look at the Science of Superhero DVDs I did, man, and the reference book that I created behind that, the shit that I couldn't put in them DVDs in it. Everything that they doing, I did it. I showed and proved, man. But again, I'm not Jordan Maxwell. I'm not Alex Jones. So, again, I can say and do all this great work, but because I don't co-sign a lot of the shit other contemporary or people who are contemporaries in this movement, whatever, so I get little support shit, but it's like very, very from afar or none at all. So when it comes time to talking about who's the best in the metaphysical community, who's been putting in the most work for all of the years and shit, my name will never come up. And I'm glad. Because it shows me that me separating myself from all of the bullshit and all of the niggas that's exploiting and all of the chicanery and all of the COINTELPRO mind police shit that these niggas is involved in, Crowley shit these niggas is involved in, I can't be down with. So kudos for that. I just know that bringing it back to the people, dealing with the people directly, we can be in. So let's see if we can get some calls in before we out. (614) You on Superhero Radio?
Peace, Lord.
Peace, Lord. How you doing, man?
This insight, family. How you feeling, man?
Hey, family. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm good, God. First of all, I just want to say, man, commend you, brother. Tip my hat to you, man. You really took the gloves off tonight, man. Dope show, man. Great information you providing the people tonight. And I don't have a question or comment. I just want to let you know, man, we appreciate you, brother. We love you. We honor the work that you do. And that's the one thing I realize when you're working for our people, man. We don't tell you know what I'm saying, our leaders, our trailblazers, those things enough, man. And you one of them brothers I look to for inspiration, you know what I'm saying? A brother I look to for guidance and just, you know what I'm saying, a brother that's doing it the right way, man. You and your beautiful queen, your beautiful family, we appreciate you, man. You know, people talking about, you know, we love President Obama. He's such a beautiful reflection of what black love is. And to me, that's not what it is. Looking at you and your family, that's what it is, family. And we honor you, King.
Thank you, family.
Anything
Thank
I can
you
do,
so much.
you know, we ended our show, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling all my listeners to come check you out on Monday so they can get this information and get this knowledge, man, and really start to, you know what I'm saying, build and rise, man.
I really appreciate that, D, man. I really appreciate that, D, for real, G, as well as you being one of the brothers that we've always listened to. Has always been open to the work that we've been doing and in listening to your show. Because like I said, I don't listen to niggas, but that's not altogether true. I listen to your show, the shows that I've been on. But I try to stay away from a lot of the other stuff because I don't hear nothing real. All I hear is conjecture, opinion, all this other shit that has nothing to do with getting us where we at. So for you to call in tonight, say that, G, especially after the day I had, I really, really appreciate it, G. For real, man.
For real, family. For real. And like you said, man, I know you don't listen to a lot of cat show, and I don't neither, but the one thing I do when I listen to other cat show and the difference I hear from your show and they show, man, you giving us hard facts. You're giving us information that we can go back and touch. A lot of cats are just on the radio really talking and want to hear themselves and really obsessed with the amount of listeners they may have, but they're not giving the people nothing. They're leaving the people empty. You know what I'm saying? I remember growing up. I'm a church boy at heart. I grew up in the church. My godfather was a pastor, and he told us, he said, if you come to church the same way you went, something is wrong. And that's why I listen to a lot of these shows. I come in the same way the same way I came in is the same way I come out. I come out with nothing. But tonight, brother, you hit a grand slam, man. And I just want to say I love you. I appreciate you. And look for some love to come through that mail, man, in the form of monetary gain, man, because you need that, fam.
I really appreciate it, G.
The brothers that's giving us the information.
Not even a shoestring budget, the thread budget, man. And
already know.
But I know what it is. You know.
Honestly, fair. That's one of the main reasons we had to end our show, man. We opening up a home school here, trying to open up the school. Not trying, but we are going to open up the school.
Please tell them where it is. Please use the show. Tell them where it is and how people can help and donate to it, please.
Yeah, it's in Columbus, Ohio, man. We open up our own home school to teach our babies this information ourselves. We can't complain about the public school system no more because we know the public school system is doing what it's designed to do, and that's not produce scholars. It's not to produce the next generation that can lead us out of the situation that we're in. So we're in Columbus, Ohio. I'm from Chicago, just moved here. It's called the Al-Kibulan Home Institute. You can go to our website, www.alkibulanhomeinstitute.com. Hit me up. 614-202-4512. You can donate on our site. You can donate straight to me. You know what I'm saying? Anything for these babies, man. That's what we all about right now. We got a summer enrichment program going on with my homegirl here in Columbus, Sister Roni. And we're just trying to grab these babies one baby at a time, man, for real.
That's it, God, because that's the ones we got to get, man. Please tell them the number again.
Yeah, I don't even fool with these grown cats no more, man. I'm all about the babies, man, because the babies, the one thing I love about the babies, they're open, they're honest, and their ears are perk up when you give them that information. We took the kids to the library today, and these kids was filling out the forms to get their library card, telling me they wanted to get this book, they wanted to get that book. You know what I'm saying? So these babies is where it's at, man. Forget these grown cats, man. Deal with these children, man. For real.
They've done. They sacrificing their children. So let them do that.
Exactly.
And let's keep our children healthy, wealthy, and wise, man. Please give them the number again. They can holler at you.
Area code 614-202-4512. 614-202-4512. And our site is alkibulanhomeinstitute.com. ALKEBULAN homeinstitute.com. You can hit me on Facebook, Diallo Morgan, DEALOW Morgan, or at Brother Insight on Twitter. We're just trying to really get it in for these babies, man. No more energy is going to these grown cats that's knuckleheads. We're putting all our energy and efforts, time, and money into these babies, man. And I said, I love you, boy. Get a queen a hug and kiss for me, man. And man, love the baby more, man. Love y'all, man.
You will, man. I'll speak to you sooner than later, man. Thank you so much for calling. I really appreciate it.
And email me or text me after the show or later on this week and let me know how much longer you will be in NY. My best friend just moved to Brooklyn, and I'm trying to get up there the next couple of weeks. So if you're going to still be there, man, we definitely got to touch down, brother. So hit me off there with that information, family.
I'm going to text you on that. I'm going to text you on that tomorrow.
Okay, that's what's up, family. Okay.
That'll be great.
Peace and blessings, God.
Pleasure, my brother. Love and your life to your beautiful family. Inshallah, I'll speak to you soon, man.
Yes, indeed. Peace.
Peace. Love and light to the family. Like I said, anybody wants to holler at us and come down and check us, we're going to be at Cornerstone, which is 271 at Delphi, on Wednesday, starting at from 6 to 8, I believe. We're going to have our book album release party. We'll also be doing, a little building, and hopefully we try to get a little set in before the night is done, do like 2 or 3 songs. And we'll have some of the materials and products there. Everybody can check. If you want to, if you just want to come down, say peace to the homie, whatever, Team Cordoba, we're going to be here. All black devils, stay away. You know what I'm saying? Just know that we're going to have this shit hooked up with the vibratory frequency, so that way if niggas come on some bullshit, it's already locked down. Which I know is not going to happen because I don't even have that energy around me. But I'm still in New York, so I don't get it twisted. So you can holler at us directly, as well as the lecture we're going to do on Saturday, this upcoming Saturday and Sunday, August 4th and 5th. The lecture is entitled Cloaks and Daggers, How to Protect Oneself from the Rise of Black Luciferianism in not only the conscious community, but the global black community that's trying to infect our species mind pattern with an alternative, bastardized version of African cosmogony, of original Moorish indigenous cosmogony. So let's get it in. You can give us a call for advance tickets because seating is very limited. We can only get a couple people in, so we're going to have 2 days. So you can call, say what day you want to come through. You can pay in advance, or you can pay at the door. Again, I don't hit people in the head because I don't like being a pushy salesman, but you can call me at 1-917-500-9409 for advance tickets and information about the last couple of events we'll be doing while we're here in New York. So let's try to get another call in. And again, big up to Brother Insight for all of the powerful work that he's done for as long as he had. He had the Insightful Hour, him and the whole Insightful team over there. We want to say peace, love, and light. Thank you guys for the times that you had me on the show. We really enjoyed it, and for y'all always holding it down for as long as you have. So let's try to get another call in real quick. Time's winding down. 347.
Hey, what's up, Aseer?
Super Heru Radio. Hey,
what's up,
Aseer?
I'm good.
How
what's up, Selena? I'm Moore. Love y'all.
Hey,
peace, family.
What's up? Love, man. How you doing?
I'm good, babe. I'm gonna just make this real quick because I know you're pressed for time. Everything you said is factual. I'm not even going to debate you or go in because everything you said is a fact. But I just wanted to add to something. I knew that the Brownsville thing was a ritual because I'm from Brooklyn and we, like you said, we don't do drive-bys. And when the baby was dressed like Minnie Mouse and then another 13-year-old was shot with her. Yeah, I said that's. But check, this is what I peeped too, and I just want you to go in on that if you can on your last few minutes. It's 2 things. One, the Black Widow spider. And I know, because my spirit is telling me that has something to do with Michelle Obama.
Michelle Obama.
Of that ritual they did
that's what
Michelle.
she had on that day of the inauguration, remember?
Right. And also, this thing that's going on in Honduras, where now you know the powers that be don't give a damn about no woman and no child. Or just human life, period. But now they're trying to say that Honduras is the most dangerous place on earth, and they need to go in because over 30,000 women have been murdered in the past 10 years, and something to that effect.
Come on now.
Okay.
You know how many black women were raped and killed in Rwanda?
That's what I'm saying. So I'm like, is this a ritual to? Because you know these bastards will go all around the world and come back just to get at Sebi. You get what I'm saying?
They doing
so
that.
I'm like,
they
why
doing
would?
That with him.
Right. Because you know they
doing
tried before. Now
also,
why would? I'm sorry.
They also found a pyramid down there. No, go ahead. I'm saying, but they also found a pyramid down there.
Right.
That's actually not too far from Sadie's compound and shit.
Wow.
And I also know that they're trying to make a move for the canal again, because even though they have a protectorate of it, the lease already came up, so they don't own it no more. So what they're trying to do is basically block China and the rest of these niggas from coming through, because the Chinese and the Russians and them got their own contract with the Panama government now.
See?
So a lot of it is the deals, though, to make it happen was done. They couldn't do it in Panama due to the amount of special operation shit that was going there, killing people, public officials out there. So they did it in Honduras. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So to me, United States' whole agenda towards the so-called Latin America and South America is total destabilization.
Right.
They don't want any of them countries down there to rise up like Venezuela.
Exactly, because they know if anybody has the potential is the ones they're going after. They know the potential, but we don't know the potential, and that's why I'm so glad that we have you. Because even though a lot of our people don't listen. That's why I tell them watch They Live, because it's a part in the movie where that white man had to beat that black man ass and put the shades on. That's how black people are, man. Like, damn, just wake up.
Almost to death.
Yeah, and he still wouldn't put him on.
Still had to fight the black man to see things through a black lens. Do the knowledge to that, man. Like, it's like when these black Lucifers, it's like when we left the church. Like, we left, just because we left the church didn't mean that we was leaving God. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the reason why most of us in our generation left the church is because when we got knowledge itself, we started to see how our families was using that to control us.
Yeah.
To act like they was more than they was, or where they acting churchy, but then on the low, they still taking people's hair and making dolls of niggas and doing all this
straight
other
up
shit
devils.
against other people in the family and other people in the community. So when we realized that our parents lied to us and that they was hypocritical and all of that, we stopped listening.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And then they started blaming us. So here we go, just because, again, I know that Jesus, the word Jesus, again, is the J, and the J is only as old as the English, which is, 1600s or whatever. I still know the difference between the Christ consciousness, you know what I'm saying, the body politic of Christ, and the image that they wanted to show me. So I'm not going to just shit on an aspect of something that helped get me to where I'm at. Because then I'm no better than anybody else. That's why when I got knowledge or you got knowledge, we don't try to lord over people with it, try to make people feel stupid for what they don't know. Because I know what it was like to be ignorant. I know what it was like to be stupid. But ignorant don't mean stupid. Ignorant just means that you didn't know. You know what I'm saying?
But our people are immersed in Satanism.
Yes.
So that's why I'm glad you're doing that lecture, because we're being inundated with it left and right, and it's ugly. Like, you can't get to them because their soul is already gone. A lot of our people are just, they're gone.
Know. That's the other part of it. These black niggas, because they go through a initiation or a ritual or a this or a that, and I've been consecrated and I wear my beads and I got my white on all the time and all that. These niggas really done made they a bunch of smart, dumb niggas. They done made themselves materially smart and spiritually stupid.
Yep.
The Bible say one is initiated by the birth in the blood of the Christ, not Jesus, of the Christ.
Yep.
So that means that when we was born out of our mother, you can't have no initiation bigger than life, nigga. And being born, nigga. The only other initiation after that is death.
And you got to ask yourself, why would somebody want to initiate you or have you take an oath in this day and age?
That's
can't trust it, man. Wake up, yo.
To another man, you can't trust that nowadays because you don't know who this nigga took that you taking an oath with and took an oath to. So now you done sold your soul by proxy.
That's right.
That's what we really gonna get into. I really hope the people come through, because this thing is really, really getting to the point where like I don't even like.
It's out of control.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like niggas would just say and do anything now. So it's like, yo, let's just do it.
And they're killing us.
Thank you for that Honduras connection, Queen, because that's real.
Yeah.
And big up to all of my listeners in Honduras, because we get some people out there, believe it or not, that be on
that's what's up.
So that's what's up, man. Big
and
up
for all the dummies out there that still say that Usher's stepchild wasn't sacrificed, it was a sacrifice. Because I did the math on that a long time ago, and if you add up the date of his death, it adds up to 33, and he was taken off life support 13 days after he was initially...
13 days.
Okay, 13 days after he was initially declared brain dead. So wake up and stop acting stupid, and, just get it together, man.
Friend. Stop hating on the niggas who know. And that's the other thing, man. Just because y'all niggas don't want to believe nothing, don't mean that the shit that we be talking about ain't true. Because these crackers, like I said, they come on TV and say, I've seen these niggas come on and basically like do a whole Super Heru radio night on National Geographic and shit or History Channel. But then on top of that, it's like, that's not even, but they supposed to do that. My thing is when the people would rather watch that or would rather listen to Jordan Mack or any one of these devils that have never done nothing for our community. You know how many books this nigga, you know how many more I know bought them Peter Moon books, them Preston Nichols books? You know what I'm saying? You know how many niggas I know and will come to me with that shit like that's like the gospel? And I'm looking at these niggas, I'm like, what did this nigga ever do for you? Nothing. What do they do? Much of this shit they talking this Moorish shit. No, they want to be Moors. They're the ones that's up there in the Pine Barrens doing rituals and all that and having things where niggas can go up there and do rituals with them every month.
And they're the ones that's making brothers like you, that's making you, you know, look like an imposter.
Oh, yeah.
That's why you look like an imposter.
And all that.
To the
you know
untrained
that these niggas
eye,
have a retreat? Yeah, these niggas have a retreat every month where you or anybody else that's in the know, whatever, can go up there by the Pine Barrens, out there with them in Montauk Point, and sit down and talk shit with all these niggas while they sit there with pyramids on their head, ritualizing all you niggas.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. And some of the main people, some of the main quote-unquote lecturers in the community be up there every month.
And it ain't surprised. This shit is crazy, man. It's sick. It's too thick. That's why it's just, man, look, it's a wrap. The only thing you can do is to save the babies, like the brother said.
That's what
Ditto
the
to what
he
said, man. Yeah.
Save the babies.
That's
Protect
it.
them from being eaten. Because these
they are
black
future.
niggas are eating babies. They doing everything they can do to get on. Every and anything to get on. Think I'm lying? Look at that video with Janet Jackson beating the shit out of Paris.
I see it. And it's trendy. And Paris went in on that little Twitter account.
Oh,
because she was telling people to do the math. She said, and now mind you, this is the same doctor who testified for the same person who killed my father. He's treating my grandmother. That's what Paris said.
You do the knowledge. And let's do the knowledge that the same doctor who did it, who killed allegedly dude Murray, was down in a in the Navy with the same doctor that killed Kanye's mother. These niggas were shipmates. That's a coincidence too?
Yeah, but that's a coincidence. Exactly. Exactly.
That's fake too?
That's a coincidence.
Come on, man. Come on, man. My grandma used to say, look, I was born at night, but not last night.
Last night, yep. And people are just too glamour nasty. These motherfuckers, and that's what my grandma used to say, glamour nasty ass niggas. Just shiny and just dirty. You know what I'm saying? They glossy, want to put, that's all they worried about is the shine, but they don't care about the shit underneath. So it's just, I'm done with them.
That's right, Queen. That's right. Thank you so much for calling again,
no
Queen.
doubt, and I love y'all, and stay up, brother. Keep doing what you're doing.
And inshallah, like I said, we'll keep you posted. You got the map, so we'll holler sooner or later.
No doubt, babe. Good night.
All right. Peace, Queen. Thank you, real strong original black woman. If I've never said it, or if I haven't said it as directly, just let me reiterate it. Thank you, Creator, for creating the archetypical image of the original black woman in her most pristine and beautiful and elegant form and all of the manifestations of her true self. Please continue to bless her and keep her safe. And I mean all of you original women that's standing in your goddess position and not letting these hating bitches break down the palace and the queendom that you are striving to build up. The darker you are, the lighter you are, whatever it is, if you are manifesting and keeping yourself in a higher divine Christ consciousness, bless you, man. Thank you for holding it down. Thank you for being the one to bring it in, just like the black man. Thank you, archetypical, original Asiatic black man, for manifesting in the planet to bring about the true and living soul of the Creator in the archetypical form of arm, leg, arm, head. Thank you for bringing forth out of your loins the seed of all creation, of all the human families in the planet Earth. And let everybody know that when the black man and black black woman come together and create that universal creation in the form of the yoni and the lingam, and they bring those together and you bring forth the archetypical Heru, ever come and conquer in the form of that child, please continue to bless the original black babies, the original Asiatic, black, Moorish, quote-unquote, African, whatever you want to say, melanated, dark babies that come out of the triple stage darkness to come here and chat down this devil and break down the hold that it has on the rest of our people who seem to be brain dead. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. But give me the righteous sword in my hand to smite them if they try to stop and try to break down what you have left on the world to be what it is. So again, if I've never said that, because a lot of people only hear me breaking shit down and not actually breaking shit up, I want to be able to be as balanced as I can. And I want to give thanks for the protection and the hedge of protection that you have put around me and everybody who listens to Super Heru Radio. And that there will be no weapon that will ever be forged that will ever stop what we're supposed to do, because it ain't the shit that they want to stop us doing. It's the thing that we're going to do is why they're trying to stop it, son. I'm telling you. And again, these pseudo-Illuminati, fake Freemasonic niggas ain't your problem. It's these black Luciferian niggas that's around you every day that's cock-blocking for these niggas and ready to take a white penis in the butt just so that way they can move up a degree. This is what's going on every day, all day, in the hood, in the business room, in the boardroom, in the corporations, in the schools, in the army, in the police, in every facet of what this fictitious reality is here. But it cannot stop the truth. The truth could be everything and anything in the world except a lie. So we got to be that living truth and be in that body of Christ and protect our species' mind pattern from Jacobian infiltrators that's trying to set you back 60,000 years, to trick you into reincarnating back in this motherfucker again in the body with no melanin in it. You are responsible for your soul. You are responsible for what you're supposed to do in this life, not nobody else. You are responsible for the choices that you make into this reality and leaving it. So if you want to be a Luciferian, be the best Luciferian you could be. Praise Satan as much as you want to. But be honest that that's what you're doing, man. And don't come around niggas that's not on it like that. You know what I'm saying? Keep that shit around the niggas who want to mess with that. These fake niggas that want to act like they more powerful in the dark than they really are. And I can say this because I done lost a baby to niggas. You know what I'm saying? Niggas done ritualized it so heavy that we lost a baby prior to coming into this thing. So niggas can't tell me nothing. You heard? Nothing. Because they don't produce nothing other than confusion. Not even chaos, because chaos is something that can be worked with order. These niggas don't even know how to manifest that. All they can do is manifest confusion based on pseudo-ideology. Any niggas pointing guns to you at Facebook, you got to question that shit, man. Because I tell you this, if I had a gun on Facebook busting down and showing niggas what I got, I would have ATF at my house. You know what I'm saying? So if niggas is putting guns and shit like that up at Facebook, but then they sending their kids to public schools and shit, then you got to understand something else is going on, okay? And niggas ain't as militant as they want to be or want you to think they are. And that, again, I don't know what anybody else doing, but I still believe in the Creator. I still believe in the Father, Mother, Father, God. So niggas can't tell me that it's not real. So, yeah, I know what 5% is, and I came in all of that, and I know in true and living archetype of God and all of that, but I also do know that I am a part of a species mind pattern that goes all the way back to the initial thought, that Big Bang that created everything. So that means that we have always existed. That means there's never been a time that we've been outside the kingdom. We are the kingdom. But these niggas want you to think of the kingdom as Malkuth through some sort of tree of life symbology, so that way you can get more caught up in that than understanding the tree of life Kabbalah symbology of your own body and how to operate that. They'd rather you know how to operate the operating systems of a computer and the internet and all that than to figure out how to rewire and rework your own operating systems. That's what DMT is for. Do you know that DMT, the molecule in DMT, exists in every organism that is actually alive and born out of a womb on this planet? That every organism on the planet has the ability to process and ingest the DMT to upgrade their consciousness and get into their own inner species mind pattern and understand what their symbol operating system is? No, but these niggas want to tell you, oh, well, you know, this is a whole computer matrix, and all you got to do is figure out. No, nigga, all you got to do if you really want to go up one day, you really want to get ill, get you a little DMT, sit in your chair, take that shit. It only lasts 10 minutes, and see what you see. This is why the rites of passage that we used to have as indigenous people and all of that went down. This is why they got to start to legalize weed, just period, because the world is moving into a realm where you're going to have things like that. But because they have created the term drugs, and because they have created the different terms to turn you off from living things, you equate weed with Oxycontin or some shit. Start cooking your own food. Stop going out to eat all the time, man. Cook your own food. If you with a woman and she don't know how to cook, if she want to be with you, then try to take a cooking class with her or something, or encourage her to do that. Because women don't even realize the aspect of femininity that they have lost following behind these white women on some Sex in the City shit. Because you want to walk around with a dog in your purse. Because you want to walk around with a lace front and all this other shit. And then get mad when you see my queen walking out with her own hair that's longer than yours. You want to hate on her because she did her work. No, man. When you as a woman create food out of nothing, right? And then create that and feed your family with that, you're not just giving us food, you are giving us spiritual sustenance that we can't get from nobody else. Why you think there was a such thing as family dinners on Sundays and shit like that? But how you going to have family dinners on Sundays when the grandmother, the mother, the grandmother, and the granddaughter is all out on Sundays at Caribbean City and shit at the club at the same time? How you going to do that? And then wonder why you can't have no man. Wonder why the mother, the grandmother, and the daughter, and the none of them got no man. Because a lot of men was chased away. Because my mother's generation chased a lot of niggas away. And a lot of niggas just bounced because they wasn't worth shit anyway. So are we going to continue to say, oh, well, the black man should have did this and the black woman should have did that? No. We are both, can't we both admit that we are both equally as messed up now? Can't we both just get to a point and realize that we both being played by the same devil? No, because you have a lot of niggas that would be with anything other than a black woman, just like you got a lot of black women now that's convincing themselves to be with monsters. To be with straight monsters instead of just being with them. You think Halle Berry really thought she was coming up when she got with that white man, right? Especially after dealing with David Justice and the rest of these niggas, right? Yeah, but until that Nazi started coming in, right, you really got turned out by that non-simulated sex scene in Monsters Ball, right? Look at what that set in motion. That set Angelina Jolie in motion to become the pseudo-satanic Mother Teresa, who was the one who started the whole shit with the black babies and all of that. Why? Because she know that her man, Billy Bob Thornton, a Nazi, really boned this chick in the movie after she told him not to. And this sick hoe took her husband to the movie and got mad when he got up. But he didn't want to see the unedited sex scene with her taking it really in the vagina from this Nazi. And then wonder why your relationships ain't worth a damn ever since. And wonder why you hook up with a white man who will call you a nigger right in front of your child, telling his child, you ain't black. They read the transcripts of what he was saying, what she was saying, this nigga was saying. He was telling her, no, you're Aryan. I only married that nigger because I needed more genetics for you. This is what she's saying. He said in the transcript. You think that chick would get with a black man after that? No. She hooked up with another man, so she deserved what she get, just like any of them do. But don't expect and base your life on what these black women is doing on TV, black women. Base your life on what you want your life to be. You'll be happier for it, and you'll produce better children, and you'll be actually able to hold down a man, and a man will actually be able to hold down with you. Stop following behind these black women, these pseudo-black women, these fake Latina chicks or whatever, who only been into black niggas since Lil Wayne. You know what I'm saying? Stop wasting your time, man. So, as we close out, we want to say at Super Heru Radio, we thank you for all the support. We appreciate any donations that you could send. You know what I'm saying? You can send it to dukeoftears@gmail.com through PayPal. If you would like, that's DUKEOFTIERS@gmail.com through PayPal. You could, whatever you want. Every little bit helps. Trust me. Again, holler at us, 917-500-9409, or email me through houseofl, HOUSEOFEL, @hotmail.com. We're going to be at 271 Adelphi at a spot called Cornerstone at 6 o'clock on August 1st, second month adjacent. Come through, celebrate with us. Let's bang on all these black Luciferians. Let's bang on all of these black Satanists. Let's bang on all these white Satanists. Let's bang on all these Mexican Satanists. Let's bang on all of these European or whatever Satanists, African Satanists. Anybody that's down with the devil, let's bang on them, man, for real. Stop making excuses for these niggas, man, because it's killing us. So, again, come through. Also, we got the lecture on the 4th and the 5th. Seating is limited. We only got 40 seats. So everybody want to come. It's going to be some first come, first serve. It's going to be deep. It's called Cloaks and Daggers, How to Protect Yourself from the Rise of Black Luciferians in the conscious community as well as the overall global community. Holla at me. Be safe. We love you. Love and light, protection. The original people will prevail. We have always been here. We have never been outside the grace of the Mother, Father, Mother, God, the ultimate creator, whatever you want to call him, whatever you want to call it, is there. And you're not crazy to believe in what you want to believe, so long as you're conscious, be aware, protect yourself, protect your family, protect your seed. Inshallah, we'll speak soon. Hotep.